Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into something called the beauty blackmail, an absurd escalation. And let me tell you, we are taking a deeply sarcastic, slightly unhinged journey into what this essay claims is a completely rigged system. So buckle up because things are going to escalate real quickly.
Okay, so is beauty really in the eye of the beholder? It's a super comforting cliche, right? I mean, it makes us all feel warm, fuzzy, and unique. But, well, we're actually going to tear that little lie apart today. According to the essay, the harsh reality is that society quietly forces almost every single one of us to chase the exact same highly attractive people, all while we desperately pretend our tastes are totally subjective.
And this naturally brings us to Albert Einstein, because frustrated daters just love to butcher his theory of relativity to cope with romantic rejection. You know the drill. Oh, well, beauty is relative. It depends on the observer. Right? Sure, it depends on the observer. But mysteriously, you, me, and the 100 other guys standing in the exact same room are all fiercely desiring the exact same person. So much for relativity, huh?
So, let's look at some romantic geometry. You've probably been told at some point that you're part of a romantic love triangle. Oh, please. You are not in a balanced triangle. According to this text, you're just that tiny, pathetic 1% sliver. Literally the absolute minor leg of a geometric nightmare. You're competing against a 99% massive army of identical clones who all have like 10 years of youth on you and brand new cars.
Welcome to the theory of profitability. Forget the stars, forget soulmates, actually throw destiny right out the window. The premise here is that modern romance is governed entirely by ruthless supply, demand, and marketed scarcity. Basically, we've all been brainwashed since kindergarten to value the exact same mainstream aesthetic.
Consider what the essay calls the ice cream problem. Ice cream is this beautiful, democratic thing. You want strawberry? Get strawberry. Your friend wants pistachio? Awesome. A scoop of gelato doesn't blackmail you. But beautiful partners? Now that is a market of manufactured scarcity. You can't just casually sample your favorite romantic flavor unless your metaphorical ice cream cone happens to be a $10 million mansion. The beauty market literally demands luxury, and it thrives on creating this endless, brutal competition.
So, how do we fix this exhausting competition? Well, we look to the bees. Honestly, the bees have it completely figured out. There is exactly one available queen. And having only one option solves the entire beauty debate immediately. Nobody's arguing over who's the prettiest. The essay points out it's a highly efficient, completely paradoxical blend of absolute monarchy and Marxist socialism. The state monopolizes all romance, and everybody else just gets to work making honey. But unfortunately for us, humanity isn't a beehive. So who actually decides what we think is attractive? The essay makes this sweeping, systemic critique. Empires dictate our tastes. From ancient Rome convincing the whole world that their statues were the absolute peak of the physical form, to modern superpowers projecting Hollywood glamour across the globe. The ruling empire basically weaponizes beauty standards to keep us constantly striving, constantly consuming, and completely distracted. Now you might be wondering, but wait, what about the rebels, the counterculture, the hipsters? Yeah, no. Quote, the anti-empire aesthetic is determined by the empire itself. Think about it. Even if you reject mainstream glamour and exclusively date bohemian rebels reading Marxist philosophy in a local coffee shop, you're still just reacting to the empire. The establishment created the mainstream, which means they effectively dictated your alternative. It's the exact same trap. You're just picking a different flavor of ideological blackmail. And right when you think this is just a quirky, sarcastic sociological critique, boom, we abruptly escalate into a completely unhinged cosmic origin story. Enter God's reality TV show. Because to truly understand the beauty blackmail, the essay argues we have to go back to the literal beginning, where a bored deity actually interrupts the narrative to explain that he invented the concept of beauty strictly for his own entertainment.
Let's actually trace this absurdity on God's timeline of boredom. So God is sitting around playing with words, takes the word for nothing, nada, spells it backwards, and creates Adon, or Adam. Then he makes a companion, Lilith. But Lilith, it turns out, is a bit of a hippie. She invents fire, discovers a certain relaxing leafy green plant hiding behind the tree of knowledge, and just chills out. By day 4, God is incredibly bored. So on day 5, he is forced to invent Eve, specifically to introduce some much-needed drama into the mix. Just look at the contrast here. You've got Lilith,
bohemian, peaceful, completely unbothered. Basically a total disaster for television ratings. God quickly realized that watching a couple just laughing and eating snacks in paradise does not make for compelling reality TV. So, he introduces Eve. Eve brings the apples, she brings the ambition, she causes massive drama, and boom, she officially kickstarts human suffering.
And what are the direct results of Eve and her apples? Well, Adam gets tempted. Humanity gets expelled from paradise, and suddenly mankind has to invent agriculture, cities, and modern civilization literally just to impress her. Endless suffering begins, but hey, the cosmic TV ratings go through the roof. The joke here is that beauty was specifically weaponized by the divine to force humanity out of bed and into the miserable grind of civilization. And poor Lilith, she's just left smoking alone in paradise forever.
Okay, let's bring this narrative back to Earth for a second. We are now entering the final frantic collapse. After deconstructing society, empires, and the literal creation of the universe, our deeply exhausted narrator decides he's finally had enough. He is entirely rejecting the beauty blackmail. He is just done playing the game. And why is he done? Because of the utterly unhinged things he claims to have endured just to appease these manufactured beauty standards. Let's just rapid-fire through the hilarious list of tortures. He memorized Shakespeare to sound deep. He went backpacking in the jungle and literally contracted dysentery. He argued with actual revolutionaries just to impress a girl who likes political theory. I mean, he even spent 2 days in a jail cell for a serenade gone wrong. And all of this just to participate in a rigged market?
Which leads us to this magnificent, highly theatrical quote, "Love me today or vanish into smoke." The narrator issues his final ultimatum with absolute comedic conviction. He completely 100% rejects the manufactured scarcity of love. He refuses to wait in line behind an army of guys with new cars, and he refuses to improve himself even a tiny bit further. It's a hilarious demand: accept him as his deeply flawed self right in this exact moment, or seriously, get out of his sight.
So, as we wrap up, I have to turn this back on you. Are you a victim of the beauty blackmail? I mean, this whole thing is a brilliant, absurd comedy, but it actually leaves us with a genuinely provocative thought. Are your tastes really your own? Or are you just chasing marketed scarcity in a cosmic reality show designed specifically to keep you busy? Definitely something to think about the next time you feel the need to impress someone. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.